Hi, good morning. Today is November 3rd, Friday, 2017, and we're getting ready for the major economic releases for this month. Of course, they always come out on the first Friday of the month. We have the Euro dollar and the Canadian dollar, and the European dollar, the Euro dollar, and the Great Britain pound. Okay. The news release comes out in 25 minutes. So I just wanted to go ahead and get started and show you guys what the market looks like leading up to that event. Okay, with it being the fourth quarter of the year, let's first go look at the monthly chart. Okay, here's the monthly chart. We can clearly see that this level here was a previous level of resistance. So let's go ahead and mark this zone off. I've already done this, but I'm just going to repeat it for you guys with a clean chart. Okay, so we can clearly see that this is a level of resistance, even from way back here in 2007, 2009, and so forth. So with this candle right here, this previous with the October candle closing as such, we can, with this bearish reversal pattern, we can see that the trend should be down. This is a area which the bears control. So let's zoom in a little bit on a lower time frame. We'll go to the weekly. Okay, now looking here at the weekly, we see that last week price was closing in a downward push, strong downward push. Here we see that last week closed lower than the previous week. So let's go in again. Go to the daily. Okay, we see that yesterday. Let me get these zones out of the way. Okay. Now here on the daily, we clearly see that price was rejected from yesterday's high, right here. Okay, so we have a strong monthly resistance level here, and we have a strong push high and what looks to be as potential railroading here on the daily. If we look down here at the RSI, we are below the 50, which would indicate a downtrend. Okay, now looking at the higher time frames, we've already confirmed that this is a resistance level. So let's go in a little closer to the 4 hour. Here's the 4 hour. Here's yesterday's, the high of the day, and so forth that I just pointed out here on the daily chart. Okay, so now let's come back in here to the 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour rejection. Now we zoom out a little bit and we drag this same zone across. We can clearly see that this is a potential resistance level for the 4 hour chart. Okay, we have the daily close right on it and a strong push down immediately preceding. This was Thursday from here to here. And now in here, we have Friday. Okay, now this is the 4 hour chart. So now let's go in here to the hour. Now look here at this chart here on the hour. Now on the hour, we're at the same zone that was resistance on the 4 hour chart. And we have oversold here in the, overbought on the RSI, extremely overbought. And we can see a slight push of divergence here with a downward momentum push and equal points of closing. Okay, so now let's go into a 15-minute chart, because that's going to be the chart that we always use for trade execution. Now if you look in here, today's high was slightly lower than yesterday's, and London session was slightly lower than the Asian session. Okay, now the New York session starts at 8:30, and that's when we'll be anticipating the news release. So give me just a moment and I'll go ahead and start breaking down the Euro CAD while we wait. But if you're in my signals group, we already have these signals and we're already in our trade with our stop loss. And to be quick and easy, we can go ahead and drop our level of take profit right there. Sorry, I had to take a quick breakfast break. Okay. Now here on the USD CAD, let's go here. Okay. Now here on the Euro CAD, let's start high again on the monthly. Okay, just from a zoomed out perspective, we can clearly see that here is a level of resistance. Support at this end, but throughout here, it's a strong area of resistance. So we'll mark that off on the monthly. So now let's go into the weekly. Okay, so now we have the monthly zone indicated. Now we're on the weekly time frame. So here on the weekly time frame, we can see that this level is definitely being respected to a certain extent with these wicks pushed up here. Those are traps. You know, volume is stuck wherever these wicks end at. So here on the daily or weekly, that level is confirmed, and we can identify it both on the monthly and the weekly chart. So now, let's go to the daily. Excuse me. Here on the daily, we can clearly see that that zone is still being respected. So let's go a little further. Okay, now here on the 4-hour chart, we can see that we're definitely moving it towards a downtrend. Okay, we can clearly put some trend lines in now. Trend lines in play. Let's go from here to here. All right, here's our uptrend. Low, low, boom. Okay. Now from the upside, we can put one here. And we can see that we have a trend to the downside. Okay. So there we got our trend, a lower trend line and our upper new trend line. Okay, we have a series of higher highs and higher lows to here. Okay, then we have a low which meets the previous high. Then we have a high that's lower than the previous high. So this would be the beginning of a downtrend. So now what can we expect? We can expect a low lower than the previous low. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to erase this monthly zone that we have. I'm actually just going to make it a little smaller. It's about right there. And then come back in here to the 4-hour. And there we have it. Also, we can see that the RSI is beginning to fall below 50, which of course indicates, as we all know, a downtrend. So there we have that. And let's go in a little further. We'll go into the hour time frame. Here on the hour time frame, this is what we have. We have our trend lines in play. We have our lower trend line as a target. Okay, let's go to the 15-minute chart. Here we have a 15-minute chart. Of course, the major news release comes out in 10 minutes. So we'll really see some price action movements in the next 10 minutes here. let's take a look here at the actual economic data that's coming, and it's about 10 minutes away, 8 minutes at this point. Here we'll be able to see both of these currency pairs. Give me just a minute, my internet's been running pretty slow all day, all night long, all morning rather. Okay, so if you take a look here, look at all this news we have coming in 6 minutes. We have news on the CAD and news on the dollar. And you see how important it is. High. Majority of it is high or medium impact, which means the market's going to definitely make a huge shift. We have our entries, we have our exits, we have our stop losses, and take profits in play. So now we sit back and wait for the festivities. Now, when you're trading NFP, it's very, very important to have your stop loss and your take profits in play, because price has a tend to spike and turn right back around. So if you have your stops in place or your take profits in place, you definitely want to make sure you're automatically in and out of the trade without having to try to catch it, because when the market's moving sporadically, you can sometimes get affected horribly. Now you see we did just get stopped out. It hit our stop loss up here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to wait just a moment, and I'm going to manually re-enter on this Euro CAD. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Just a moment. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get in there. Let's go ahead and put our stop in. We'll put our stop here at 650. Okay, and we'll put our take profit back in Yeah. And like I said, now we'll just wait for, we got 3 more minutes before this release comes through. Now again, it's very important to use proper risk management and execute your stops and take profits when trading NFP. It's very, very important. You'll see in just a minute how erratic the market moves during NFP Friday, which is every first Friday of the month. Okay, we got about 2 more minutes. All right, we have about 60 seconds. All right, 22 seconds. Now the spread on the Euro CAD is extremely high. That's why I keep it got stopped out there again. But you see we're at the trend line, so it's safe enough to enter. It's not gonna let me. See, now the market's gonna move very sporadic, and it's not even gonna give me a chance to re-enter this trade. Of course, you see it moving here. It's just a pain sometimes because I want to enter this trade, but my charts aren't working correctly. See? There we go, straight to the mud. Now it's unfortunate that we got stopped out and weren't able to get back in because the market's moving too erratic, and that's exactly why I said you want to have your positions in place before that takes place. But that's okay. But yeah, I mean, I still have the trade in on another account, so I'm still good to go because I didn't put a Did I put a stop loss on there? Yes, I did. So I got stopped out on my other account on 2 of them, but I didn't have a stop on 1, so that's good. But yeah, here we go. Getting some more push. Now, if you're looking at other currency pairs during this time, the whole market's moving sporadically. All right, the Euro CAD should keep coming. You can clearly see the market giving us a great push down here on the Euro CAD on the right hand side of my screen over here. Just as expected. Just unfortunate that our stop got triggered before we were able to hop in there. That's unfortunate, but it's all good. Because we're still in on our Euro Pound as well as our CHF JPY trade. If you were able to hop in there, if you're in the group, you saw that trade posted as well. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Look at the Euro CAD. Due to the fact that we can definitely expect that Euro Pound to fall, I'm going to enter another trade here on the particular Euro CAD. The Euro Pound. Hey, you see, I just entered this trade here on the Euro Pound. Now, since we can already confirm the Euro CAD's gone, let's go ahead and just pull up our Euro Pound. And this is how it'll appear to us. I want to show you a little something. Look at all these pairs over here. Now all these pairs are just moving. They're jumping. Look at that. Every pair in the market right now is going berserk. So really when it comes to NFP, you just pick your pair, find whichever one has the best and clearest setup for you, and get to work. Let's go back in here to the 15-minute chart. See what kind of action we got. But here, looking at this 15-minute chart, we can clearly see that we're below the 50, so we're in a downtrend. So this is just pretty much a false move push up. Let's see what we got on the 5-minute. Here's the 5-minute. Let's see what we got on the 1-minute. Here's the 1-minute. We have a 1-minute double top pattern right here. Also, take a look at how this RSI below here looks. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you trade NFP. And you'll typically get the NFP push until roughly around 10:30, 11 Eastern AM. Of course, on Fridays around noon, 1 p.m., the market tends to die out. Let's see how this cat over here is looking. Oh yeah, see, we would have definitely been approaching our target had we not got stopped out. But again, that's okay. Now you know how to break down the NFP trade, so that's fine. Let's go back to the Euro Pound. You can see on this 15-minute candle how it's beginning to come to a close. We got 1 minute and 28 seconds left on it. You see how it's starting to push down from that 1 minute triple top that I pointed out here. Now this next 15-minute candle should come crashing, which will in return bring this hour candle down. Excuse me. Again, here's the EuroCAD going berserk. That has dropped 100 pips in 15 minutes. So somebody made $100,000 on this trade right here. Based on the trade size that I had, a nickel, this would be roughly $50 to $100 on just this move in 15 minutes. But again, that's okay. We still have euro pound trade in. Okay, now this 15-minute candle comes to a close in 15 seconds. And we'll see the rest of this shift down on this euro pound. And really all the other pairs are going to push down to a close. Here's the hour. Now this hour candle closes in exactly 15 minutes. So let's see what we get. Now what I'm looking at here on this 1 minute chart is a clear trend line break. We have a low here, and we can put it right there. And we'll see how price continues to push down. And we have hit our take profit here on the EuroCAD. So if you look, that was from 49629 to 4.56 in 15 minutes. That was 100 pips in 15 minutes. That erased the whole week in 15 minutes. So if you guys took that trade with me, depending on what trade size you took, you just made quite a bit of money in 15 minutes. Okay, so now this trade is hit our target, but I do see it continuing down, potentially another 200 pips. So it could go another 2 times the move it made in the next, really by the end of the day, because today will close out the week. So we can look at it to come down here to the 1.473 level, which is another 100 pips. And if it breaks that level, boy, we coming way down here. But I don't see that coming until maybe the end of closer to the end of the year. We'll come down here to the 455. So we got another about 300 pips. No, sorry, that's actually, yeah, about another 300 pips to close out the year. All right, let's go back to the other trade we got going. Now this is the euro pound. See, the euro pound is still trading on this trend line we took, but it hasn't breached the resistance level up top. It's actually being rejected, and we should see that spike down here on this pair in the next, what time is it? Next 10 minutes. And we can expect this one to hit our take profit too down there at 885. So that's roughly about 50 pips. Not quite as big as the last move, but it's still a substantial amount. And we'll see that take place coming up here. If you look here, we still have not reached that high point that I indicated earlier. And we should have takeoff now. Look at the 30-minute chart. That's what we got. Resistance coming from that same point on the minute chart that I drew. And we have 9 minutes before this hour closes, so we have 9 minutes, and we'll start approaching the take profit level to the downside. Alrighty. Good morning. Alright, so as you see, we're getting that strong push. I told you it's going to happen within the next 8 to 9 minutes. We're going to come falling straight down. Let's see if the EuroCAD kept going. Yeah, the EuroCAD actually did keep going. You see here we broke. So if we not had to take profit, we'd still be making some extra money. But that 100 pips was a whole week's worth in 15 minutes. Okay, we should be getting a turn here because the United States government, the Federal Reserve is actually getting ready to release the tax numbers, interest rates, and they're actually either not going to change it or they're actually going to raise it higher than people are expecting them to lower it, which is going to increase the value of the dollar and take the dollar straight up. So if you're looking at any dollar leading pairs, look for a buy position. Okay, let's go back to our euro pound. And we see we're getting that move to the downside. Now, once this hour candle closes, we'll get more of a push because it seems like it's stalling out there. But if you look at the 15-minute chart, we're getting a clear railroad. I mean, we still got 60 seconds, well, 31 seconds before this candle closes. So we'll start to see it push back down here. But once this hour candle closes, it's gonna complete our move for us. Go ahead and delete that. There we go. Now, I do want to take a trade on the USD CAD. Okay, now if you look here on the USD CAD, we see that we have fallen down here and closed in the oversold position, which should bring us back up here to the at least the open of the day. Well, let's go ahead and look at let's break it down from top to bottom. Okay, we have our monthly candle, our monthly chart. Now looking at the monthly, we can see this was a level of resistance with all these wicks. So let's draw a line straight across. We'll lower it to be a little more accurate to right in here. You guys agree? Okay. All right, let's go in here to, let's go in here. Okay, this is the monthly. Let's go in here to the weekly. Here on the weekly, this is what we look like. All right, now let's go in a little deeper to the daily. This is what we look like. We clearly have a dip down into this zone, which in my opinion is going to leave a wick. So what we'll do is we'll come in here and we'll click on the 4 hour and see what kind of pattern we got in this zone. All right, you see what's here going on here, guys? Okay, we had a huge spike on Wednesday. All we did was pretty much revisit this level in here. Okay, as you see this little dip down in here. Now let's go a little zoom in a little more and go to the hour. And you see we're down here in the oversold. Let's go a little closer because our 15-minute chart, of course, is going to be our execution chart. So now here looking at the 15-minute chart, we have a huge wick. Huge reversal pattern, or reversal candle here. These pins. okay? We're in the oversold territory. So what I want to do is I actually want to enter another buy. So now we'll enter buys here, and let's place our stops right below the current low of the day, which is down here, okay? And I potentially see a take profit zone up in here. I expect us to close a bullish candle today. So with that being said, I can actually see us price closing in this area. All right. Now we have our trades entered. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and enter this in this video. Go ahead and upload it for you guys. Hopefully you guys learned something and how to accurately analyze your NFP. First Friday, one of the biggest days of the month, biggest days in the currency market. Thank you for tuning in. Happy trading.